I am Maria with the Hillsborough Public Library. I'm just the host, so just to introduce myself, but then I'll let Jojo take it off. Um, and just a reminder to everybody, this is being recorded. And I'll post the Zoom or the event calendar link on the chat, so you guys can always access Jojo's Chinese calligraphy class recording afterwards as well. But I'll leave it up to you, Jojo.
All right, thank you so much, Maria. I'm so excited to share with you. So this is a beginner Chinese calligraphy workshop for today. I believe it's our last session of the Maker event. So thank you so much, and I think it's the third time that I invite back with the Sparrow Public Library. So a little bit about myself. I am San Francisco-based Chinese calligraphy artist. I started when I was 10, and I followed the teacher for about 3 years. And one of the big influence about me studying Chinese calligraphy is because my grandfather is a very big fan of Chinese calligraphy. So the last 5 years, I worked with the local shops during the Chinese New Year. I provide them a live demos during the Chinese New Year. And then later on, I worked with the local library to provide in-person programs. But unfortunately, things have changed since March last year. I wasn't able to do any of the in-person program. So I am very lucky to get connected with you all virtually and get into to introduce you the Chinese calligraphy. And I'm also very excited about you as well. I know we just have someone to share with us that we have a second grader at the Chinese charter school and want to participate or learn more about Chinese calligraphy, and that's a big thumbs up as well. So is there anybody else want to share with us? What interests you about this topic, or have you had any Chinese calligraphy experience before? If you don't mind, so you can speak up. Feel free to unmute yourself. All right, so don't worry. Let's go ahead and get started. So I am teaching calligraphy with a passion for preserving Chinese calligraphy and sharing the Chinese culture. And today I'll be introducing to you the basics to Chinese calligraphy. And Chinese calligraphy has a history of over 2,000 years. And its view is not just a form of decorative arts, but also a means of self-expression and cultivation. And calligraphy in Chinese, we call it 书法. And the 书 refers to the book, and 法 refers to the way, and put it together, it means the way the book is written, which is the art of calligraphy. And let me introduce you to the supplies that we need for calligraphy. And that's what we call the four treasures of study, 文房四宝. So these are the brushes that we use in calligraphy, and they can make up fox hair, goat hair, and ox hair. And fox hair is being the most expensive type. This one we use it for the largest fonts and we call it 大楷. And this one we use it for the medium fonts and we call it 中楷. All right, so this is the smallest font and we can use it for 小楷. And today we're gonna use the medium font. So the next thing is the ink stick I have here. So in the old days, we use those ink stick, and then we have the ink stone as well. And then literally, we just add water and we can just grind on here, and that's how we get the ink. And then we also have this is a pre-made liquid type of ink. It's a 500 grams. Got it from Amazon, like $15 to $16. It lasts me for about like 2 years, so it's a very good investment. And then I have ink dish holder. So just holding up the ink. And then I have a glass of water. So that's for rinsing purpose. So this is the paper that we use in calligraphy and we call it 孙子. It's a very thin paper. So when you touch it, it has the two different surfaces. The one surface is so much smooth. The other surface is not as smooth. And we always use the smoother side because it has less friction. So as you can see, this kind of paper, there's some grips or box on it. It's very easy for a beginner to visualize the work. So we can fit into this box. But if you don't have this kind of paper at home, you can also try on the other reusable paper, such as the newspaper or printed paper. But keep that in mind. Different type of paper have different type of absorbing the ink. I think the strength is very absorbing. So it feels different when you're writing something on a 宣纸 or writing on the newspaper. But when I first began with calligraphy, we don't use this kind of paper at first because we consider this paper is very expensive. So we started with a newspaper, and after we're practicing many times and we feel comfortable, and that's how we start using the 宣纸. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the brush. So how to hold a brush. So holding a brush is different than holding a pen. So holding a pen, you use 3 fingers like this, right? But holding a brush is we're using 5 fingers. So you don't want to go up too high or too low either. So you want to be on the middle part of the brush. So you have your second and third finger up front, and then a third and fifth finger on the back. And you have your thumb supporting at it. And here's how you look. Okay. So another thing about it is when you write calligraphy, you do not want to only using this part of your hands. You want to try to use the entire arms, okay, instead of just this part of your hand. So at the end of the, you're supposed to feel a little sore on your arm. So, that's a very good to practice with your muscle memory. So in calligraphy, we have two ways to do Chinese calligraphy, and that's what we call this the writing position. So one is called the standing position because standing position, we have the space at home. So you can try on the standing position. Eastern arts we go horizontal. So standing position will give you a really good way to practice the vertical strokes and also develop your muscle memory. When you come down sitting, you also have that arms and wrist memories. So today I'm sitting, so I want you guys to make sure you sit up straight and make sure you have your feet flat on the floor and have your paper, make sure it's flat also and straight in front of you. And your body and your shoulder, your arm should be relaxing. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with writing a Chinese calligraphy strokes. And in Chinese calligraphy, we have the two main fonts, and one is called the Haisu. It can be characterized as neat and straightforward. And the other one is called Xingsu. It can be more curtsy and fast moving. Today I'm going to show you a few strokes in Kaisu if we have time, and we can practice a few characters as well. So let's share the screen with you, and this is one of the books that I have with me for about 20 years. So the name of this book is called Liu Gongxuan is the name of the calligrapher. And then Jie Su, its styles can be characterized as neat and straightforward. And then Tier, it's a copy book. So let me flip into the very first page and take a very close look at this. And this is what we call the horizontal stroke, 一横. So the arrows here is representing the motion of the stroke. So we started from the tip of the brush, go opposite direction, and then you press down and move across and lift up your brush and round it out. So this is what we call horizontal stroke, 一横. Okay. So let's get started on the piece of paper. Okay, so we're gonna use a medium fonts brush. We're gonna dip into the water and make sure you get rid of the excessive water. So, because I know since it's very absorbing, so I don't want to get started too watery first. And then you dab on a paper or a towel, just get rid of excessive water. Then you're using about 1/3 of brush and load up with ink. And I'm using the edge to get rid of excessive ink. Okay. And make sure it forms a pointy. So let me demonstrate to you how to do a horizontal stroke. So it's very important. It's very important to hold your brush correctly. So I'm using the tip of the brush, go opposite direction. Then you press down. Then lift up your brush and round it up. So again, this is a horizontal stroke, 一横. So let me do it one more time, and it's gonna be very slowly. Okay. So let's practice for a couple more. So again, this is a horizontal stroke, 一横. So let's practice with 2 horizontal strokes. And this is the number 2 R. So the first stroke is a little bit shorter, and the second stroke will be longer than the first. All right, so this is number 2R. So let's do a 3 horizontal stroke, and this is the word number 3, sun. So first, we're gonna have the first and second stroke with the similar length. And the last stroke, we want to be the longest one. So again, this is the word on sun number 3. So how's everybody doing with the horizontal stroke? All right, so let's move on to the next stroke. And this is what we call the vertical stroke. Is two. So let's take a look at the vertical stroke. And we started from the tip of the brush. Go opposite direction, press down, and at the end, you can either round it up from the right or from the left. So this is one way to do a vertical stroke. The second way to do it is more a needle-like vertical stroke. So we're gonna do from the tip of the brush to opposite direction, that's up, and press down a little sharp as you can. Okay. And this is a sharp and vertical stroke. So let's practice on the piece of paper. So using the tip of the brush, the opposite direction. Then you round it up at the ends. So the second way to do it, we're using the tip of the brush, go opposite direction, and then look as sharp as you can. So again, this is a vertical stroke, you swoop. So let's practice with a few words. Okay, so the first word I'm gonna talk about, we're gonna write, it's called zhong. It means the middle. So I'm gonna start with the vertical stroke first. So for Chinese character, we started from left to right and top to bottom. Again, this is the word 中 means the middle. So the next word is called 正, means right or square. To practice this word, we only need two show that we just learn, and this is a horizontal show and vertical show. So I'm going to start with the short horizontal stroke first. So again, this is the word 正, means white or square. Okay, so let me write a few words, and those are meaningful words, and you can practice at home. So the first word I'm gonna write is called 家, means family. So I'm gonna start with the little dots here. And this is a horizontal stroke with a hook. Again, this is the word 家, means family. The next word I'm gonna write is called 友, means friends or friendship. I'm gonna start with the horizontal stroke first. Then the second stroke is a downward stroke to the left.
And just letting everyone know, we have about 5 more minutes.
All right, so running a little short in time. So let's do a last word. Here is called full, means happiness or blessing. And this word we have two articles. I'm going to start from on the article from the left. So again, so the last three word here is the first one here is called 家, means the family, and then 友 means friends or friendship, and the last word here is called 福, means happiness or blessing. If you guys have time at home, practice this a few words and let me know how it's gonna turn out. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for now. So how's everybody doing at their calligraphy work for today? Would anybody want to share with your work? No? So we have a very quiet group today. Oh, Jenny said it's very relaxing and informative class. Yes. I'm very glad you found it's very relaxing and informative. And Sheila said, my son to be kindergartner joined us and here's her work. Yes, would be want to share your work if you can turn on your camera. Yeah, what specific should I look for when purchasing Chinese calligraphy brush. Yes, there are different type of calligraphy brush on Amazon. I wouldn't start it too expensive as a beginner, so I would start on the medium price range first and test it out, some of the brush out there. And I would recommend you to buy the medium brush, so that we use the most of the time. All right.
Before everyone goes, I'm gonna see, we asked that you participate in our poll. I'm gonna launch it right now. But if you'd be so kind to fill that out, that just helps us, know what worked, know what didn't. Did you learn something new today? It's super fast. Thank you all. Yes, so I hope you all can see that Jojo listed her contact information in the chat. Feel free to give her a contact, give her a like, a follow. Thank you all for attending our Maker Fair 2021, and hopefully we can do this again, either in person and again next year and on the future. I'm going to go ahead and end the class now. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you, and I hope you have fun, and definitely look forward to do another sessions with the library again. Thank you all.